So we're back for book review number 3. Earlier this week I did a poll asking which of several books you'd like to see, and these were the top 2 picks, so let's get started. Alright, so this is a book on Antonio Lopez Garcia. There is a Spanish illustrator, I believe, named Antonio Lopez, so if you are getting a book, just make sure it's on the artist that you want it to be on. So the beginning doesn't really, it just starts with kind of basic introduction. It has it in both English and Spanish, so it's not just Spanish language in this book. But I will say I find books on living artists, the written portion is just never that interesting. It's usually kind of more acknowledgments and stuff. This one does have a good few images of the studio though, so that can be pretty interesting to see, you know, the photographs from to reference. So yeah, so that's just the beginning of this book, so we'll just flip through and get to the interesting portion. So as a rule of thumb, I'm just going to go ahead and mention, always get the hardback book if you can, because they're much easier to look through and reference. But obviously sometimes the hardbacks can be more expensive, so if cost is prohibitive, then, you know, get the paperback, because books are always worth it. But so this, I believe how this is set up is, it just kind of goes through his work chronologically. So it kind of starts with some of these earlier works that he did. I think it just kind of progresses and advances through time. But it's a really, really great book. It has everything. It has his paintings, it has drawings, it has some sculpture. These pages are getting stuck together. So it has just a really great mix and variety of his work. So it's just really beautiful. I love Antonio Lopez Garcia. His work. There are quite a few books on him. This is the only one that I own. So if anyone knows of a better one, do let me know, just because I happened to see this one at Strand one day. Because again, you know, it's hard to buy a book if you don't know what's in it first. Hence these videos. So, but it is really wonderful. You know, he's a modern master, so always exciting to have that more contemporary reference, even in a figurative setting. Go. Yeah, I love this painting. So interesting. Yeah, he just did quite a bit. He's done so much work and so much variety. I was surprised to see some of his earlier paintings, really, because they weren't what I expected after seeing just his work on Instagram and stuff, you know. It's interesting to see an actual full overview of somebody's work. I wish they would have a book on just his charcoal drawings, because those are just amazing. Still really, really cool to see such an interesting artist. So many amazing things. So I do definitely recommend this book if you're a fan of his work, because it is a great overview. Like I said, I am curious about what the other books are like on him, but I hope to look through those one day. But this one I have really, really loved. It's the painting we all see on Instagram all the time. That's the other cool thing just about getting books on artists, even living artists, is you get to really see more of their works. There's always those popular pieces that'll get all the Instagram likes, and you'll see it 1,000 times over, and you'll just know that artist for that one painting. But the reality is they're hidden beauties that you miss. And again, sometimes online it's so hard to know if it's actually by the right artist. So many things are on Pinterest and they don't have proper, you know, attributions or anything. It's so annoying to look at art online, to me. Hence the book obsession. So, just really, really cool to see his drawings. Again, yeah, I do find that paperbacks tend to get little clumps of pages that like to stick, so they're harder to flip through, which again is why I recommend always getting the hardback. But so it's a really, really beautiful book, really well done. Great image quality. There's not a lot of variance in the image quality. It's very, very solid. Yeah. So very solid, really beautiful. Such, you know, inspiring painter. Trying to make sure that these pages stick together, give you guys a good overview. Yeah, also, you know, when buying books in person, it's always better because you get to look through it, but generally, at times you can find a better price online. It really depends on where you're buying the book. You know, you can find, sometimes you go into a used bookstore and they don't really know what they have, and so the price is just really great and you can't find it that cheap online anywhere. Just kind of try to do your research and look up what a book's worth if you're gonna get it, especially if it tends towards the more expensive side. Okay, I think that's pretty much, yeah, so then the end of this book just kind of breaks it down into the written stuff, and it's kind of just an appendix and kind of just like a chronological little thing. I don't know what you call it, but yeah, so that is this amazing book. All those images are in black and white as well. Yeah, so forgive me, it breaks down into paintings, sculpture, and then it might be a little, yeah, in portional drawings. That's what it is. So that's a really cool way to just look, if you are trying to look up a specific thing of his work, this back section is pretty cool. But yeah, guys, that is the book. Okay, so this book is on Julius Leblanc Stewart, there we go. And I actually bought it because, even though I've seen some of his work in person, I'm not as crazy familiar with it, but I actually bought it because it is written by Ulrich Heisinger, and love the way he writes, and I just thought it would be a good, another good book to have and be able to reference and actually read. So definitely starts with a good bit of written portion. I have not read this one yet. I should. I'm bad about reading art books because I just get so mesmerized by the images, but so it starts with, as many art books do, a lot of writing and a lot of black and white images, which can sometimes be really nice because sometimes they don't have the color images anywhere available really. So I'm not dissing black and white photos, but you know, they're not really what we want. So let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. This one does start with a lot because it's a definite kind of introduction and good overview of him as a painter. Heisinger is a very thorough author, so there's all the notes on that. So there we go. Color plates. I was actually really impressed with seeing this. I don't know how familiar other people are with Julius Stewart Leblanc, but I just felt like this gave me such a better idea of his work. Felt like I was really unaware of, you know, his body of work as a whole. He was definitely a painter of very luxurious people, maybe not the most down-to-earth type, but he did some pastels as well, so these two are both pastel on canvas, or on paper on canvas, something like that. So yeah, so it's just really, really nice. This isn't the biggest book, it's kind of like a lighter reference. I did buy it to read, so I do need to get to reading it, but I also just kind of sometimes like to see, even sometimes I don't love what an artist is painting or like how they're doing it, so it's just kind of nice to have that reference. And some of his portraits were actually pretty interesting. You can find some more unique compositions and stuff the more you open up your inspirations and references, so really nice. So yeah, just gives a good little insight into as a painter. And again, excellent color reproduction. So and it's just the appendix. So that's that for that one. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that video, and it was a little bit quicker maybe than the last one. I was trying to kind of balance it out, make sure they didn't get too long and boring. So hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next week.